Hi, I'm going to today show you my first time putting a film into a Nikon F that I bought a little while ago, which was made from 1959 to 1971. A lot of years that was made for. The professionals loved it at the time. It was a sort of a brand new transition between rangefinder cameras and the single lens reflex that came with the Nikon F. Looking at the serial number of my camera, it looks like it was made in 1964, which by my reckoning it makes me 1 year younger than I am. So it's a 59 years old camera, and yet it's in perfect condition. It's a Nikon F phototomic, as you can see from the image behind me, but the meter doesn't work because the batteries, you can't get the mercury batteries anymore for them. They're a bit tricky, but I'm going to put a film in it for the first time and show you how it's done and how different it is from the early days. How a professional photographer did this quickly, I don't know. I'm going to put in a box of Kodak, if I can get it to focus, that's it, Kodak Ultra Max. I've never tried it before. It's a 400 ISO film, 36 exposures. I'm going to try that and I'll do a video for them eventually, and see if any come out really, because I don't really know if the camera works, the shutter speed side of things. You've got to remember, like I say, it's 59 years old, so the shutter speeds could be all over the place, though I've got a feeling it looks pretty accurate from what I can see from the slower shutter speeds. Anyway, I'll show you a close-up of the camera and me loading the film, give you a bit more detail about it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like if you like, and subscribe please. Thank you. Well, here's my Nikon F phototomic, which means that prism head on the top gives it a sort of a match needle meter reading inside the camera. There are standard heads that you could get with these cameras. As I said before, I can't get the metering to work because the batteries that don't exist anymore. You can see the battery goes in this side here for it, and that's the sensor for the match needle metering, which is this little bit at the top here. Like I say, this camera was produced from 1959 to 1971, so a good long run. This one is from 1964, making it 59 years old, which surprises me how much quality there is there. You know, there's no scratches. There's a slight dent here, but that's all. There's a little bit of brassing, as you'd expect from a 59-year-old camera. It's just a lovely camera with a period piece 28mm f3.5 index lens there, Nikon lens. It's a nice lens. It's a good bit of coating on it. I reckon that may be from the sort of mid-60s to the early 70s perhaps, but it's still got the connecting point for the aperture, though it's unnecessary for what I'm going to use it for. You've got the exposure counter up here and the shutter button here. This bit here controls the shutter speeds. Because of the head, it needs to be attached to the aperture and such like. All the shutter speeds, I don't know if you can see that, are here. Look, just turn it and the shutter speeds are in this little reading here. If you was to take the head off, you would see the shutter speeds like in a normal shutter speed configuration. And the rewind crank here, which obviously doesn't come up, as you'll see in a second why. It's just a nice simple camera to use. As I say, the back doesn't come off in the conventional way, like say, I'll show you an F5, an example of that. Yeah. See, in the conventional way, an F5 like this, the back just pops off with the rewind crank, like that, and then you can get into the shutter. That doesn't do that. I'll show you what I mean. The camera is nice and sturdily built, all metal construction, aluminium and some sorts of leatherette type stuff on the top. which is surprisingly that's still in one piece as well at that age. You've got the self-timer button here. You've got the lens depth of field preview here. I don't know if I'll be able to show you that because it's not enough light really coming in there. But that is a depth of field preview, and that's the mirror up button there, and the lens release button here. Fairly straightforward way of disattaching the lens. That Nikon F mount going all the way back to the rangefinder cameras makes it so compatible with any lens you like. You can see the mirror box there, and at the back there's not much really to see, really. The viewfinder bit there, look, and this window here, which is quite an advance for the system, because when you've got this head on, it's very hard to see the aperture because it's blocked by the meter. But this, when it's connected to that pin there, see that pin there? That pin translates to F numbers on that little window there. You see that little window there? It's pretty hard to see, but in daylight, obviously it'd be nice, much clearer. But yes, it's a very nice camera for the time. Right, I'll show you how to load the film now. Right, so here's the first time me putting a roll of film in my Nikon F. Must be the first time it's seen a film for about 20 years or so. So we'll show you that. Right, the camera at the bottom, you have to take the whole back off to actually change the film. Show you what I mean. So there's also a little ISO reminder at the bottom there, and the tripod socket, which I didn't mention before. Just so you can remind yourself of colour and black and white film. So this lever here comes up, look, and then you unlock it like that. Right, so that's unlocked. Now the whole camera back comes off like that. See that? And there's the camera back with the little cup at the bottom there. Can you see that? That on my left hand side, that holds the film canister in place, and that does the take-up spool. And there's the hole there for the tripod socket, which has to be fairly goodly light tight, I suspect, or else you'd get lots of exposed images, you know. So when that's shut back in, it must have some sort of light trap there. And then there's the film plate there to pressurise the film. So when you put it back in, you have to be a little bit careful. You have to sort of try and get it in as far as you can first, and then push. See that? And then lock it up. If not, you might damage the rails on the film rails, you see. And there's the cloth shutter in the middle there. It's just a very simple. Let's put it on half a second. Just wind it on, look. And then it's half a second in theory. Hopefully that should work. Right, so let's do that. Also, before you wind on the film, can you see around the shutter button there? There's a little A and an R there. Can you see that? That needs to be on A for advance. That means advance, and then R rewinds the film. Which releases this cog here, so that will go the other way. At the moment it's locked, it will only go one way. When you wind it on, it will go that way, and that's it. So that's good. Right, so we'll do that like that. Also, you'll notice when I put the film in that this has only one slot in it, the take-up spool. On more later Nikon Fs and other F2s and later on cameras, you'd have 3 or 4, just to make it easier to put it in. So to put it in the film, let's take it out of that. See what that does. If you can see that, I'll do it upside down for you, perhaps a bit there, but or for me. So yeah, so that needs to go in here like that. See that? The film goes in there, this side out like that. You hold it down and pull across the film, if I can, like that, to the take-up spool. Now you want to try and get it where that is through there. If you can see that, there's a little slit there. See that I'm trying to put it in there, just so it goes through, like that. Right, so you need to be wound up to the take-up spool. Can you see how that's taken up there, look? Make sure that you push this bit down, because like in more modern cameras, it just automatically sits there flat. So you want that as flat as you can get it. The two sprocket holes here need to be attached so that's ready to go. And then you can put the back on. So like I say, you have to be a bit careful with this, because you don't want to damage the back plate, the tension plate, or the rails. So you just put it in as... Right, so you want to put that in as far as you can with the pressure plate first. Then it clicks in like that, look. So that's in. And then you get the lever and lock it. Like that. So now it can't come out. And then you can wind the film on till it gets to 0. And then you can watch the rewind crank to make sure that it's working. Or the shutter button itself. Can you see that little spot on there? Look. That tells you it's winding on, and it tells you that you've actually wound the film on. If it's reading to the right hand side as you're looking at it, that means it's wound on. So and then you wind it on like that. So hopefully it'll show up in a minute. I'll just get a bit of tension a bit up there. Give it a couple of exposures. See how the rewind crank's moving? That's much easier to see like that. Like that. One more. All that does is gets rid of the exposed film as you're pushing it into the slot. So like that. Like that. See, now it's on 0. So, and you push that rewind lever back in like that, and I'll just so I don't do it by accident, I'll just leave it on 0 for the moment. So you can see that's how you adjust everything, and that's it. Really, you've got a little self timer here. That goes down. Look, gives you a 10-second. You can have a 3, a 5, and a 10-second timer. Like that. Just a mechanical thing. It's all mechanical. And it's a very nice camera. So I'm ready to go now. That's good. I've got on the bottom there, I've reminded myself that it's 400 ISO. Look, on that little bit there. Look, that's nice. And we'll just have to see how they come out, the results. That should be quite fun.